What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ review, and here we are talking about Rebel Moon. Now, I know I'm getting to this late. I was on vacation over the holidays, but I did watch it, and how did I feel about it? Well, this is definitely going to be another one of those quintessential Zack Snyder films, meaning it's going to polarize. You're going to have the people who love it, and you're going to have the people that just are out to destroy it. And there's not going to be a whole lot of middle ground here. The irony is that I kind of am in that middle ground, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of people who fall there. As a Zack Snyder fan, which I am, I love a lot of Zack Snyder movies. I think Man of Steel is one of the greatest comic book movies ever made. Zack Snyder's Justice League was great. Looking at movies like 300, Watchmen, I mean, he has an excellent film catalog. He also has some films that aren't so good. Sucker Punch, visually great, but what was going on? I mean, there's definitely some films in there that also don't work. So for me, I'm kind of, while I'm a fan of Zack Snyder, I'm kind of in the middle on a lot of his movies. And this one kind of falls there. I'm kind of in the middle on it. I love the visuals. I thought it was a beautiful film to look at. And I really like the idea of a Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurai set in space in a Star Wars world. I love that idea. And that was the idea that really excited me. I love the Magnificent Seven, both the original one and the remake. I love both those movies. So this excited me to see something like that. And the setup, I thought the setup was perfect. I could see shades of Magnificent Seven in there as Zack Snyder was setting this up. And then this movie suffers from what so movies suffer from now. Franchise building. Zack Snyder put the need to save stuff for the sequel. This movie definitely had a part one problem. Definitely had a part one problem. There wasn't any kind of satisfying conclusion here. They put the team together, they had a battle, and then that was it. So this movie definitely had a part one problem, but it also had the franchise building problem. We're going to introduce a lot of characters. They're going to appear in the sequel. We're going to have spin-offs. We're going to have comic books. We're going to have all this stuff in here. But the problem is that they kind of forgot to tell, Zack Snyder kind of forgot to tell a contained story that was satisfying here. Like I said, there are satisfying elements, but the story itself wasn't very contained. There wasn't a beginning, a middle, and an end. The movie was a beginning. The end of this movie felt like the lead into the second act. The battle itself wasn't even defending the planet. The whole setup here was to defend their planet. And then the battle itself came as a result of a treason of one of their team members being treasonous against them, and then the battle took place off-world. The defense never happened. The payoff that we get in Magnificent Seven, the payoff that we get in Seven Samurai is that the home is being defended. And that was the setup here, but that wasn't what we got. The home was never actually defended. At the end, they were defending themselves. They were defending themselves against evil, against treachery, but they weren't actually defending their home. The dialogue here was very spotty. A lot of it was, you could tell it was written by a writer who has a passion for words. But who was it? Was it Harrison Ford that said, you can write this, but you can't say it? That was this, man. That was this. You can write it, but you can't say it. You got to make the dialogue more, you got to make it flow better. And it just didn't have the flow here. It didn't feel natural. I feel like I'm coming down hard on this movie, but I actually in a thumbs up, thumbs down world, I give this a thumbs up. I enjoyed it. It was a visual feast. The world that Zack Snyder created, I want to spend more time in this world. The characters, while I don't feel like I really know any of them all that well, I want to know them better. So, as a setup, this was effective and it did its job. I want to know more. I want to see the second act because all we got here was the first act. So I want to see that second act. So again, I feel like the movie did its job. I give it a thumbs up. I'm just kind of annoyed with this whole trend. We have to build our franchise. We have to save stuff for the sequel. We have to make sure that we introduce characters that we can spin off. We have to make sure that we create this world that we can play in for years and years and years to come. Why? Just tell a good story. Tell a good story. And if we like the story, then you get your franchise. And yeah, the setup was good. I want to see more. But the movie itself just left me feeling underwhelmed. Story-wise, not visually. Visually, it was awesome. So I don't know. Like I said, I give it a thumbs up, but it definitely isn't on my best of list for this year. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1. What did you think of it? Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below.